Good afternoon. We will start about 2 minutes.
Okay. How do we get on the screen?
It will pop up. This is just the starter.
Oh, good.
screen.
I love pop-ups.
You'll be able to see everyone. There you go. Do you have your screen on speaker view or all view? Gallery, speaker or gallery. You can see everyone.
All right, you're going to have to turn your camera on because I'm going to want to see you now.
Yeah, I don't know where I am.
So we see your computer art.
Huh?
We just see your computer.
I don't have to turn my camera off. Help, Sid, help.
It's on the top left, Art. There's like a little camera with like it says switch on it.
Now we're
Top left. I need to have it.
Volume on.
No, and turn the camera off. Is what I need.
Camera off.
no, we need the camera on.
The camera on.
On him though. Right now it's on his computer.
Let's see. But towards you, right?
Yeah.
Right.
There we go. That's
Thank you.
Is that good to go?
Yep, he's good. Thank you.
Cool.
All right, 1 minute.
Hey, look at there. Thanks.
You got it.
Saved my life again.
Okay, it is 2 p.m. I would now like to call the Board Budget and Finance Committee meeting to order at 2 p.m. Thank you for joining the Board Budget and Finance Committee meeting today, Wednesday, April 6, 2022. Before we begin with today's business, please ensure that you're in a quiet environment with no background noise. Please mute your device until called upon by the chair or the clerk to speak. Will the clerk please read the special notice?
On September 16, 2021, Governor Newsom signed Assembly Bill number 361 that amends and extends certain Brown Act requirements pertaining to telephonic conferencing of local government meetings through January 1, 2024. As such, RTA has opted to conduct the April 6, 2022 committee meeting via teleconference. Participants can participate via teleconference in each participant's own office home area, which will not be made physically accessible to the public.
Thank you, Jim. For today's meeting, we will take roll call. Will the clerk please take roll call?
Yes. City of Wildemar.
Here.
City of Beaumont.
Here.
City of Calamasa.
Here.
City of Canyon Lake.
Here.
City of Hemet.
Here.
City of Lake Elsinore.
Here.
City of Norco.
Here.
Ooh, dark.
City of Temecula.
Here.
County of Riverside, District 5.
Here.
Chair, you have a quorum.
We do. Members, please remember to remute your device. Will the clerk please take attendance of RTA staff?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Kristen Warsinski. Here. Charlie Ramirez.
Here. Here.
Tom Franklin.
Here.
Laura Camacho.
Here.
Ehab Azab.
Here.
Rick Kazarowski.
Here.
Jim Neepkins.
Here.
Melissa Blankenship.
Here.
Stephanie Searles.
Here.
Robert Fernandez.
Here.
Albert Jimenez.
Here.
Jennifer Nguyen.
Here.
Yesenia Felix.
Here.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Jim. Next is item 3, public comments, non-agenda items. Will the clerk please read the directions for public comments?
Members of the public may address the board regarding any item within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. However, no action may be taken on off-agenda items unless authorized by law. Comments shall be limited to items not listed on the agenda. Members of the public may comment on any matter listed on the agenda at the time that the board considers that matter. Each person's presentation is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes.
Has the clerk received any requests in writing?
No, Chair, I have not.
Is there anyone on the line that would like to make a comment on items not listed on the agenda? Hearing none, the public comment portion for items not listed on the agenda is now closed. Next is item 4, approval of minutes for the March 2nd, 2020 Budget and Finance Committee meeting. Does any board members have any comments or corrections? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So
Ella
moved.
Mesa moves.
Okay, I think I heard Calamasa first, second, Ted. Hoffman. So I have a motion from Linda Molina and a second from Ted Hoffman. Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
Yes. City of Wildemar.
Aye.
City of Beaumont.
Aye.
City of Calamasa.
Aye.
City of Canyon Lake.
Aye.
City of Hemet.
Yes.
City of Lake Elsinore.
Aye.
City of Norco.
Yes.
City of Temecula.
Yes.
County of Riverside District 5.
Yes.
Chair, that is 9 affirmative, unanimous.
Okay. Thank you. Next is item 5, cash flow projections, and Charlie Ramirez will present.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Moore and members of the committee. Charlie Ramirez, Chief Financial Officer. The table attached to the staff report on page 8 reflects the agency's actual cash performance through March, followed by a projection of weekly cash activity through May of this year. The agency continues to hold a strong cash position thanks to local transportation funds, federal COVID stimulus funding, and better than anticipated fare revenue. Further, the agency continues to keep its operating expenses in check and below budget. As such, I do not anticipate any cash flow issues for this reporting period. Thank you, and that completes my presentation.
That is good news. Are there any questions from committee members? Has the clerk received any requests to comment on this item?
No, Chair, I have not.
Is there anyone on the line that would like to make a comment on this item? Hearing none, item 5 is received and filed. Next is item 6, authorization to award agreement number C22008F to BWW and Company Incorporated for transit enhancements to 12 bus stop locations, and Ehab Azab will present.
Thank you, Chair Moore, committee members. My name is Ehab Azab. I am the Chief Procurement and Logistics Officer for the agency. The item before you today is a request to authorize the award of agreement number C22008F to BWW and Company
I'm sorry.
Incorporation.
Ehab, hold on 1 second. Everyone, please mute your. Okay, please continue.
Right.
I hear someone talking. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, please.
The item before you. Thank you, Chair. The item before you today is a request to authorize the award of agreement number C22008F to BWW and Company Incorporated for transit enhancement to 12 bus stop locations. On July 23, 2015, the board adopted a bus stop strategic policy to establish clear guidelines for prioritization and deployment of bus stop amenities such as shelters, benches, and trash receptacles. The policy ensured a fair and equitable distribution of resources across the agency service area. This project includes site improvement in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act, along with installation of bus stop amenities at 12 stop locations in the cities of Corona, Riverside, Menifee, Moreno Valley, Ferris, San Jacinto, Riverside County District 1, and Temecula. On February 25th, 2022, staff issued the invitation for bid known as IFB. The IFB was publicly advertised in a newspaper or general circulation, and the announcement was posted on the agency website along with a copy of IFB document. The agency also sent notices to the chambers of commerce for those cities that are members of the Joint Powers Agreement. On March 22nd, 2022, the agency received bids from the two bidders listed in page 9 of the agenda. As you can see, the bid received from company name S&H Civil Works was late and hence is considered non-responsive according to the IP terms and conditions, leaving only a single bid for consideration from company name BWW and Company Incorporated of a total bid price of $257,879. Staff reviewed the single bid submittal to ensure compliance with the IP requirements. Upon review, questions surrounding the cost resulted in staff asking for updated pricing. In response, the bidder adjusted their pricing by cutting about $15,000. That lowered the total bid price to be $242,893. The final bid price is about 5% higher than the independent cost estimate provided by the agency project manager. Based on detailed responsiveness and responsibility checks, staff determined the bid received was a responsive bid from a responsible bidder. The price is found to be fair and reasonable in comparison to the independent cost estimate, and that the bid was received under full and open competition. Staff recommends awarding the IFB to BWW and Company Incorporated with a 10% contingency to cover for any unexpected circumstances that may necessitate change orders or amendments during project execution. Sufficient funds to cover this request are included on the agency board approved capital budget. The funding profile is shown in page 10 of the agenda. As it says, a picture is worth 1,000 words. In few slides, I would like to show you samples how the stops looks like before and after completion of the project. Here you see my presentation. You see the screen?
Yes.
So that's exactly a sample of the enhanced stop. Those 12 stops will be looking like that, with a standard shelter color plaque with bench and trash receptacles. You have all those amenities. We will have some concrete, some civil works for repairs, site work, landing, loading, and uploading for all the stations. So that's how the station looks like after completion of the project, and the next few slides will give us samples how it looks like now before the project. Next. So that's the two stops. One doesn't have a shelter and the other one have all shelter. We are replacing those with the new standard plaque shelters with full amenities. Next, please. There's also another two stops. This is how it looks like now. We will change it to give better customer service to our customers. Next, please. And this another sample of two stops. Currently, this like the one at the end. This is in Riverside District 1, and it doesn't have even a seat. So that will have a complete stop. Next, please. And that is the jurisdiction location for the stop. City of Corona will have one stop. City of Riverside, there's 4 stops for enhancement. City of Menifee, 1 stop. City of Moreno Valley, 2 stops. City of Paris, 1 stop. City of San Jacinto, 1 stop. Riverside County District 1, 1 stop. And City of Temecula, 1 stop. Therefore, the request before you today is to approve and recommend this item to the full board of directors for their consideration as follows. Authorize staff to award agreement number C22008F to BWW and Company Incorporated for transit enhancement to 12 bus stop locations in the amount of $242,893 with a 10% contingency of $24,289 for a total project amount of $267,182. Chair Moore, committee members, that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions from committee members? Okay, I see Zach.
Thank you very much, Chair Moore. Ehab, thank you very much for the presentation. What is the criteria for within the individual cities for the bus stops that we pick? Do we look at ridership or what? Can you explain to us exactly how that works?
Yes, sure. Thank you for the question. We have actually two tiers for consideration. We have one for the ridership demand. So the stops that have higher ridership demand qualify the stop for enhancement, and another tier for geographic equity. So even though for a city, we are selecting the busiest city stops, and even though the ridership is not that much, but we will consider it for enhancement. And we have Jennifer, our planning director. She can also give more answers to this question. Jennifer, go ahead.
No, I think you got it really well. Again, there's those two tiers. One is the ridership demand, and the other one is geographic equity. And we split it between those two categories.
Okay, within the individual city though, like if you look at a city like Moreno Valley, do we look at the bus stops that have the most ridership? Or I guess that's my question, within the individual cities, how does that work? Or do we just systematically go through those cities and take care of the stops one by one?
It would be the stops with the highest ridership on that one within the city as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Ted.
Yeah, thank you. That was a very good report, and I appreciate the question because that's what I was going to ask. So with that, do cities do they have an opportunity to partake in this by maybe putting in an amount or help fund that? Is that would that enhance that? If they could come up with half or something like that, is that something that RTA would look at?
Chair, if I could, I'll take that one. So right now, as the program stands, we get a certain amount of money for what's called ATI, Associated Transit Improvements, and that's the funding that we use for this program. If we wanted to expand the program and cities wanted to partner to do more stop improvements, I don't see why we wouldn't. We do have the shelter, bench, and trash can that we use is approved by the board, and that's our standard. So if it was anything besides that, we have not been purchasing or jointly purchasing shelters that don't look like our standard. We've been letting, if the city of Norco wanted to do a specific shelter that matched wherever it was going, then they could do that. We would certainly serve that stop and, help with maintenance, but we haven't been purchasing shelters aside from what the board had approved. But yeah, if we wanted to partner to try to cover more stops, we could. We do also check with city staff, something that wasn't mentioned. We do work with the Planning and Public Works Department long before this comes to the board for approval to make sure they're okay with the stop. We have had instances where there's a reason the city doesn't want that stop enhanced, and we've allowed them to pick a different stop. In fact, in the District 1 stop, the stop that came up eligible was part of the Metrolink station, which obviously didn't need any place, extra places to sit or shade. It had both already, and we worked with Director Sensich and the district, and they chose the school that you saw in the picture Ehab showed, which was a great place to put it that didn't have any amenities. So it's kind of a partnership already. Just we fund it, but we do work with the city on where to put it.
Okay, I appreciate it because I know most of my bus stops have no shelter, and some of them don't even have benches. So I was just looking at that as a way to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted. Linda Krupa.
Oh, thank you. Good presentation. Just a question. All of these bus stops have the solar lighting, I'm assuming, and do they also have the bus routes on the poles that the riders need?
Yes, Chair.
I know they have the solar.
So it's solar lighting.
Yeah, sorry, Ehab said yes, but maybe it wasn't loud enough. Yes, these will all have the solar. We'll post the routes on all of them. Mr. Neekins is working on a QR code, a new idea we got from the Admin and Ops Committee, actually, from Director Ingram, that when you scan it, it'll bring you up the page where it'll show you exactly where you're standing and what bus is coming. So all that stuff will be at all the stops.
Yes.
That's
And
fantastic.
each new shelter will have a double solar panels on top of the shelter. So all of those will have a solar panel on top.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from committee members? Has the clerk received any requests to comment on this item?
No, Chair, I have not.
Okay. Is there anyone else on the line that would like to make a comment on this item? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
Emmett will approve.
Emmett. I have a motion from Emmett.
Norco seconds.
Norco seconds. Thank you. Will the clerk please take roll call vote?
City of Wildemar.
Aye.
City of Beaumont.
He says aye.
City of Calamasa.
Yes.
City of Canyon Lake.
Aye.
City of Hemet.
Yes.
City of Lake Elsinore.
Mayor Sheridan.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Aye.
City of Norco.
Yes.
City of Temecula.
Yes.
County of Riverside District 5.
Yes.
And I'm just going to circle back and confirm City of Beaumont.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you. That would be 9 affirmatives, unanimous, Chair.
Thank you. Next is item 7, cancellation of board approved July 1st, 2022 fare increase, and Charlie Ramirez will present.
Thank you again, Chair Moore. By the spring of 2019, it had been 10 years since the agency examined its fare policy and made any changes to its pricing. At that time, the agency commissioned Carter Executive Consulting to conduct a fare policy study. Among other things, the fare policy study included public outreach, equity analysis, and price comparisons with other regional transit agencies. At the conclusion of the study, one of Carter Executive Consulting's recommendations was to significantly increase fares. This was seen as necessary to keep up with ever-increasing operating costs. To ease the burden on our customers, the recommendation was to take a single significant fare increase and to break it into 2 smaller fare increases set 2 years apart. The first increase would take effect in July of 2019, and the second increase would take effect in July of 2021. The board approved that plan at its April 2019 meeting, and accordingly, fares were increased in July of 2019. By February 2020, 8 months into the fare change, expectations were being met. Fare revenue had increased 4% year over year, and were helping cover a larger portion of operating costs. Then the pandemic hit. Ridership plummeted, the agency drastically reduced its service, and we actually did not enforce fares for the better part of 2020. 1 year later, by early spring of 2021, 1 year into the pandemic, the second phase of the fare increase was just around the corner, and ridership remained down due to the pandemic. At that time, it was a period of great uncertainty, and the board believed promoting a safe, reliable, and affordable means of transportation was paramount. As such, the board approved delaying the second fare increase from July of 2021 to July of 2022 to allow more time to determine what would happen with the pandemic and ridership. As 2021 progressed and we made our way into 2022, the agency did see modest gains in ridership. However, the unexpected turns of the Delta variant last fall and the more recent Omicron surge proved that the pandemic is still a force to be reckoned with. And now, with the second phase of the fare increase just around the corner yet again in July, ridership remains far below pre-pandemic levels. For obvious reasons, the conditions and circumstances have drastically changed since that fare policy study was conducted 3 years ago and recommended this second fare increase. Staff believes that an across-the-board fare increase at this time would discourage more riders from coming back to RTA, slowing our recovery effort. Staff also does not believe it is in the best interest of the agency to further delay the fare increase down the road. This is why staff is recommending to cancel the fare increase, holding fares at their current levels for stability until a new fare policy study can be conducted. A new fare policy study would examine not just how much we charge our customers, but also how we charge our customers for service in what we hope is a post-pandemic world. To fully understand customer expectations and demands in a post-pandemic environment, staff would recommend conducting the fare policy study no earlier than fiscal year 2024. This leaves us with a recommendation for you all today, which is to approve and recommend this item to the full board of directors for their consideration as follows. Cancel the board-approved fare increase set to take effect on July 1st, 2022, and direct staff to tentatively plan on commissioning a new fare policy study in fiscal year 2024. Thank you, and that completes my presentation.
Thank you, Charlie. Are there any questions from committee members? Okay, I will say that I agree with this. I'm so glad staff brought this back. 2019, everything was going good and we had no idea what was coming. I think it is the time to cancel this and look at it because it is a different world. Okay, is there anyone, Joan, has the clerk received any requests or comment on this item? Oh, I'm sorry, Ted. Ted.
No,
Director Hoffman?
yes, Chairwoman, I do agree with you on that, especially now with the gas prices jumping up, and I can see ridership increasing. And if we want to get people on these buses, now is not the time to raise their fares. So that would be an incentive for them to ride. My other question would be, I know that the cost of fuel is going up just like everywhere else. So hopefully RTA will have enough funding in that. I know we have our liquid night, the LGN buses and the hydrogen buses and things like that. So we should be okay, but this might be an incentive for people to ride with the gas prices. So we'll look at it that way. But I agree with you, Bridget. It's a good deal.
Thank you. Anyone else have any comments? Okay, Joan, did you receive any requests to comment on this item?
No, Chair, I have not.
Okay. Is there anyone on the line that would like to make a comment on this item? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
Norco moves to approve.
Second.
There goes Zach. Okay, so I have a motion to approve from Norco and a second from Temecula. Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
City of Wildemar.
Aye.
City of Beaumont.
Aye.
City of Calamasa.
Yes.
City of Canyon Lake.
Aye.
City of Hemet.
City of Hemet dropped off.
Oh, okay.
City of, is she back?
Yes, I think she's coming in. It says
City of-
Dan.
We'll circle back. City of Lake Elsinore. City of Norco.
Yes.
City of Temecula.
Yes.
County of Riverside District 5.
Yes.
And City of Hemet.
Yes. Sorry about that. I got kicked out and then couldn't get back in again, but yes.
That's okay. We understand.
And Chair, that would be 9 affirmative, unanimous.
Great. Thank you. Okay, so next item is board member comments. Does anyone have any comments? Okay, I will say that I did turn in a long list of events to Kristen for RTA. So if you to have a bus or a trolley at your community event. So if that's something that you would like, please submit your request also because the calendar will probably fill up pretty quick. Next is item number 9, announcements. Kristen, do you have any announcements?
Thank you, Chair. Just a couple brief announcements. One, I had mentioned at the board meeting that we had hit over 15,000 riders on a weekday, and I'm happy to report that we already beat that record on Monday. We hit over 16,000 riders that day. So we are seeing the increase between the 25-cent fare that you all approved and gas prices most likely. Then, I think it's doing some good for us for our ridership. So that's good news. Second, I just wanted to remind everyone that the Vine Street Mobility Hub groundbreaking is on Friday at 10 a.m. It's going to be warm. Don't wear your favorite shoes. It is a construction site. We will have water and shade, and we'll be brief, but we're really excited and hope y'all can make it. If you have an RSVP, go ahead and send me an email or a text or let Joan know. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. That is exciting. All these years we've spoken about that. Okay, next is item number 10. The next meeting of the Board Budget and Finance Committee will be held on Wednesday, May 4th. Can you believe it's May already? May 4th, 2022 at 2 p.m. And the April 6th, 2022 Board Budget and Finance Committee meeting is adjourned at 2:28 p.m. Thank you, everyone.